show it. So stay tuned right now for Glories of France, courtesy of John Zurlo.
Over here.
Hey, I'm Mr. Please take them. Wait, freeze.
Here we are live in Amsterdam. As you can see all our cheerful faces as Mr. Zurlo goes down the line. First we got Eric Bernard, Tricia, Mr. Zurlo. See, everybody's so excited to get on the bus. And there's Lucy. Rob. Leo. Alice. Then we got the powwow here down sitting down. All these girls seem lazy. You let them want to go back to bed. And we got the men's section. Mr. Frederick, our leader.
Call Mrs. McFrederick.
Mr. Frederick. Mr. McFrederick. Eric.
American dollars about $1,000 a year to be. We can eat here. Dat hij ook een tijd geleden nog is.
Ja, stel
And having Steenacht and Prince Canal, then about 15 feet deep, beautiful evening illuminated by lamps. And for those people who have never seen it before, a streetcar or tram on the left. That's the local transport station here. Here, Herengracht, and that's the office of full travel, so you see they're doing well. Look on the left, beautiful flowers. Oh, beautiful tram. Streetcar, yes, there it is. Audio boat from the grower. And
now stopped in the middle of Amsterdam as Kathleen Hicks had to run into the American Express office as she lost her traveler's checks. And American Express is supposed to have written her some new ones. So we're parked at this canal, waiting Kathleen and Janet to return. These are tour boats that run right through the whole city of Amsterdam. Canal runs right around the city.
okay.
I'd rather have a purple jacket.
Around 3 o'clock, I would like to ask you to make a little bit, if possible, quick, because otherwise you miss the airplane.
smells.
Wait a second. Are we ready to roll? 1, 2. Stop the camera.
Come on, Kim, get over there.
den gegeben hast, hat es einmal kurz angeschnitten.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Get that? You got that? No.
What do you want? Breakfast.
Right.
We have
Boy, am I hungry.
cafe au lait, hot chocolate.
You bet.
Oh, some students.
We sure you bet.
So what we're going to do today?
Today we're going on a long bus ride through the Alps to Nice.
The motel that we stayed in last night in Geneva, Switzerland. We arrived here at 3:30 in the morning after a hectic bus ride. Yesterday we had a plane trip from Montreal to Amsterdam, from Amsterdam on another plane to Zurich, to Paris rather, and then on another plane from Paris to Zurich in a bus ride from Zurich to Geneva. We arrived here at 3:30 in the morning. And this view of the Alps was more discernible, but the clouds are lifting. It's not as beautiful as it was earlier this morning. Today we're going to ride about 8 hours from Geneva to Nice on the French Riviera. And the sights that I will take, pictures that I will take, ought to be awesome. I thought you'd like to have a shot of our tour bus. This is a brand new Mercedes-Benz that cost $250,000. It's absolutely beautiful. Our driver's name is Danielle and our tour guide's name is Herbert. Both very fine, sociable people.
Did you wonder what the fumée was? Yeah, it's the smoke that's coming from the factories that can be... Look at this road, you guys. Let's not.
Clark, move your head.
You get there, Clark, super hurry.
Italian, not Indian.
Oh, Italian.
What year?
22.
Presidential inauguration did John Adams stay for? Just the shimmer.
This is a fair sale. Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Public restrooms down here.
Oh, okay.
WC Public and
Oh, I see. Oh, that's
good to know. WC Public. They know what I'm reading.
no, that's
l'entrée du tunnel.
Oh, there, now you can see that. Oh, there's some more parachutists. Oh, yeah, coming down. No.
We just crossed the border from France to Italy.
Bon, c'est ça, là.
And what you see now is
Why don't you give a little commentary there, Dad?
there's a little Italian community on the hillside. We're not going to be in Italy very long before we... The structure that I'm zooming in on is the Italian customs port. And I can only take a picture of it now because I am far enough away. So they would not allow me to film it when I was there. They wouldn't allow us to take pictures of the Italian customs. We're parked at a little gas station now just below, so I thought I could sneak it in. This gas station is in a little valley, as you can see. That's the Alps all around us.
Why is there... Oh, you see it there now? Dr. John, turn on the road and the love become a human heart. Peter Paul Mary worked in the song.
Zurlo. It's fun watching the old windows as we take those corners.
That's not that far down.
Missed it by that much.
It's not that far.
No, it's... I'll wait.
100 pounds, you need. Oh, I put that on camera, huh? Hi, Zeke. I was expecting you saw it. No. What are they doing? Those guys there. Give me space.
Here's the probable joke.
Yeah, that was...
This would be Actually, silly.
Do horses play golf?
No, but tennis. They play tennis on golf courses.
I'll do it back.
What's my favorite course on TV?
It's warmed up. As I said, the forecast is supposed to be 70 degrees and sunny. There, and it costs about a quarter to a fifth of what it would cost to buy the same thing in the States. So if you do want to buy anything there, I suggest you change money while we're in Monte Carlo. They'll sell some, say, a gram of hash to a tourist, and then they'll go to the police and turn the tourist in, and the police.
How do you use it?
And there'll be plenty of places where you can buy them. We'll be doing room checks, and these. Okay, a word about our schedule today. When we get back this afternoon, this evening is free time.
Probably can.
I mean, that is an awesome tennis court.
Hey, you want to jump? Oh my God. Garbage down there? That is very disgusting. Huh? There's nothing wrong by falling back. No. Keep your hands firm so don't fall. Jump.
Yeah, when I'm not on tour, that's what I say.
This is just, get in touch with reality.
Come on, see, commentate. Getting on the bus.
No, it's a little more French than.
I was gonna, but I'm not ready. Said I had one? I was gonna, but I don't think I'm ready. glasses, he just owned that boat right there. No? Yep. Yeah, put your mouth under there, Matt.
Eric, credit card in front.
I bought a big switchblade.
And it's up there.
Casino de Monte Carlo.
Right? Yeah.
Chef and Duff.
Carbonated iced tea.
That's an interesting song.
Okay.
I got it. Rendezvous.
No, she's going to rest. So the worst thing is.
Faktisk skal egentlig gå inn nå.
Well, talk, point.
Well, that's enough. Don't worry.
And then we can go to some shop.
C'est ça qui la rend.
Oui.
Mais moi, je trouve que c'est bien.
Yes. Well, all the way along the back we'll stop at different.
Okay, well,
So
let's
you
go on the
guys
other
gotta
side of the
strand.
street.
Other side of what street?
Up the main street.
Construire. Ça c'est l'humour français. J'ai fait les gorges du Verdon avec c'est terrible. Juste pour passer. Là qu'on a tourné le film Jean de Florette, vous connaissez, non?
No.
Et Manon des Sources, c'est là qu'on a tourné.
We are on
Dans
our way
l'Ardèche.
to Arles,
Avec Yvan Ward, c'est joli
final
comme film.
destination Avignon,
Mais dans l'arrière-pays, encore en
leaving
Provence.
Nice, in the region of Provence.
It's basically no good anymore. You don't get the concept you wanted.
Va passer vite.
You are watching scenes from a trip to Europe taken recently by Mr. John Zurlo.
We are unloading from the bus at Arles. We'll be staying here about an hour and a half and then on to Avignon.
We're now debarking the bus to go for lunch, but everything's full. I don't feel like bus. Okay.
I'll get that off.
Where?
No.
My dad.
How you shoot?
I thought you were saying. Lula. See Lula. Like the sneakers? Yeah. It's wavy. 45. Yeah. Yeah, the French guy.
How do you pronounce this city?
Arl.
I don't see these guys with their guitar.
Welcome to beautiful downtown Oral, or is it Arl? Beautiful Gothic structure. There's Jose Feliciano playing the guitar.
Town of Arles, visiting the Roman ruins dating back to the time of the Gallic Wars and Julius Caesar. You are looking at part of an amphitheater.
Coliseum is still used for bullfights even today.
Downtown, was it Oral?
Arles.
Arles, and this is the
Amphitheater.
amphitheater. I don't see any amplifiers.
Well, arena. Could be an arena.
What's the capacity of this place?
Talking about seating, Matt?
How many people can sit in this place? My guess is 20,000.
But that's the tour guide mentioned earlier that
What a good
it'll
guess.
seat 20,000.
Uh-huh.
You know that this amphitheater is over 2,000 years old,
1,000.
and they still hold bullfights down here where I'm focusing now.
That's not quite it either.
Could make a nice tennis court on there, Matt.
Yeah, it's like a hockey arena. As you can see, we got a capacity crowd already. Well over 200.
Here they are. Here they are.
Look at the lights that they got up here. It looks modern. The architects back then electricity was.
I don't think they were there 2,000 years ago.
Oh, okay. What about that card?
I came up a little higher for these shots. There's another level, but I don't dare go any higher. It's very, makes me nervous. This is quite high.
Wind chill factor is about 60 degrees, or minus 60 degrees.
The workmanship is amazing.
Yes, Gothic structures made what, 2,000 years ago? Is that what you said?
2,000 years ago.
So that'd
A
be.
little better than 2,000 years old.
Jeez, how old are you then?
Yeah, I was about 10 then.
Really? Okay.
Underneath, down below, it's put together cobblestone by cobblestone. Amazing construction.
Yep. I think they're trying to restore the place, but not trying to make it look modern.
There's some of our students right there. Do you know who they are, Matt?
Let's see. I see Eric Weierstahl, Krista Carson, is that her name? Yeah.
Mr. Carson, yeah.
And some people from Maine. Leo Lawrence is there. Sarah Sample.
Sorry.
Slowly. They're a good 100 feet up there. What do you think?
At least. At least. Much more.
So I think they'd feel it if they were. Or were they hitting?
Scary.
You and I had a hard time getting over.
We're both hanging on.
And Mikey C, he's a great nice too.
Hey, Michelle. Come on, for your mom and dad. Give me your face.
What'd you do that for? That was a good shot to knock that out. Holy cow. He just went.
Oh, you knock him out?
Yeah. This guy's good.
Oh my God. There used to be a bridge over there.
That is awesome. An M. Give me an M.
We are now leaving Arles and we're on our way to Avignon. To be in Avignon in about an hour and a half. Put it down, that's it. That's it. We're leaving Avignon now, and perhaps you'll notice that I don't have many pictures from Avignon because it was pouring rain when we arrived here, and also when we went to the Palace of the Popes it was pouring rain and I couldn't use the camera. However, around 1400 the popes left Italy, had some problem in Italy, and came to Avignon and set up their palace, and I believe there were 10 popes that resided in Avignon. We arrived late in the evening, pouring rain, so we have no pictures from Avignon. We're leaving Avignon and we're on our way to packing, and we're on our way to tour. This is the second climate hotel that we've stayed in. They seem to be similar to Days Inn or a hotel chain of that caliber. We also eat right here. Of course, breakfast each morning, every morning, no matter where you stay, consists of a baguette, which is hard French bread, a croissant, and coffee or hot chocolate. Looks like Prof. Patrick had to go after a couple of students that were late. That's the tour guide there too. He's telling me to get with it. This is a shot of some of the many French communities located in the mountainside. This is what some of the French farms look like. On the highway traveling to Lyon. Lyon is about 140 kilometers from where we are right now. More of the French farms. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. You can see some of these tired faces. Well, you can see we're very busy during the day. We just got up and they're all sleeping. Some people don't want to be filmed. Here's a picture of Krista Carson. It's her 18th birthday today. April 20th, 18th birthday.
For what we hope is a very limited time only, Hometown Cable is offering free puppies to any lucky viewer who wants them on a first-come basis. These 3 charming female puppies were born on Christmas Eve, and it's time that they found a new home. They're friendly, playful, and of unknown pedigree. It's either your house or the dog pound, so if you've got room for a lovely female puppy, give us a call at 298-8529. That's 298-8529 in Champlain, and take home a lovely, charming puppy. As most of you are aware, Hometown Cable has available VHS copies of everything that we have taped since April 1986. The cost of our tapes is just $15 plus tax and shipping. Due to a great demand, we are now making available copies of the Oral History Project. Each tape will contain 4 guests. Tape number 1 includes Don O'Boyle, Aunt Ruth Edgerton, Leo Letourneau, and Peg Barcombe. Tape number 2 has Peg Barcombe, Emery Tran, selected parts of the Rouse's Point Elementary School program from April 6th, and Helene Merrow. Tape number 3 is currently being assembled. To order any tape, call 298-8529 in Champlain. That's 298-8529. Thank you.
The center of the South. Area and the grapes and these vineyards used to make Beaujolais wine. We're at a rest stop between Lyon and Tours after 4 miles without stopping. 4 miles, 4 hours without stopping. Everybody's happy to be here. Take many shops between Avignon and Lyon because I ran out of batteries and a spare battery was at the bottom of the bus. So I've just been rejuvenated here. This is a little rest area on the side of the road. I'm really with it, you know, I'm happy. Mary's got the best dancer she's ever danced with.
That's known for its white wines. There's a vineyard to our right. The system of winemaking here is really very interesting. It's strictly regulated by the wine. It's like a winemakers union, and the labeling is very strict, and the growing is very strict, and there are rules for the growers as to what they're allowed to grow where, how the wine is to be produced, exactly what kind of grape can be grown on what kind of soil, and the list goes on with exactly how many inches apart or how many centimeters apart each vine has to be planted, and if someone wants to try to start a new kind of wine or a different kind of grape in an area, they have to grow it and make wine with it for 3 years before it can be approved or considered. So the Loire Valley is also known for its chateau, of course, and chateau loosely means castle, but it's used in a much broader sense to mean anything from some of the large country estates that we've seen to some old ruins of fortresses, things that look more like forts, like the one to our right. The Loire Valley probably has more castles per square foot than any other place in the world. Most of them, and we'll see more of them tomorrow, and I'll tell you more about them then. But just briefly, most of the ones that you see in this region are around 500 years old. Some a little more, some a little less. That was when the big building boom was. Started about 600 years ago, actually. That when the kings in Paris were in danger and had to move their court out to the country, and a lot of the nobles had hunting lodges out in the Loire Valley anyway, and some of the kings started building castles out here, and once the kings started building them, then the other nobles had to do the same thing to keep up, and it became a real trendy place to build a castle, and kind of like what happened at say West Palm Beach or the Hamptons or someplace like that, where it becomes the thing to do. And if anyone who was anyone 500 years ago had to have their own chateau out in the Loire Valley, and so that's how they all came about here. And we may see some on the way to tour. Tours with the Cher is to our left still, and the Cher intersects with the Loire, where it actually comes to a confluence with the Loire at Tours.
I'll get a good picture of that.
about 12 hours.
Gloria, can you tell?
We're now in tour, and as you can see, there's some sort of protest ahead of us.
No, I can't. Train station.
Here's our hotel. We'll be staying here for 2 nights. Hotel Zurlo. Hotel Zurlo.
Okay, now play New York, New York. Play New York, New York.
Play New York, New York.
Matt, New York, New York, yes. That'd be so cool. Poor Danielle, yes.
New York, New York. You know the
Ah, par Daniel Lavoie? Ah, j'aime ça.
We've arrived in Tours. Everybody's checked into their hotel room. It's a super hotel, very European. And now we're heading to dinner. It's a long ride to Tours. Everybody seems to be happy now that they've got their rooms and are satisfied with them. All these tour buses think that Tours is quite a tourist attraction.
Venez, regardez voir. Regardez voir, c'est un grand Français.
Un grand
Français. Si, avec un client en plus, mais venez quand même.
Marchez vers lui.
Bon, alors, mais vous venez quand même. Vous l'honneur vers le mais si, voyons quand même.
Get closer to him, Janet.
John, that's Mary's birthday.
You say where you are.
Now we're in Tours today. Like a little water fountain in the park. We are now en route to Chenonceau, where we're going to visit some of the famous castles in the area.
And we'll see the castle there, and then we'll try to find a place to maybe get some lunch and have a picnic. We can find a place to do that. And then head on to our second chateau, Chambord, Well, as I was telling you yesterday, there are a lot of chateaus down here. There was sort of a building boom in the 15th century when it became very fashionable to have a chateau on the Loire. All the royalty did, and so all the nobles had to also. And so that's when most of these chateaus were built in the 15th century. Today, a lot of people who have vacation homes, like in the States, maybe they have an extra set of dishes or some clothes that they keep at the other house. These people, when they moved, these were vacation homes, right? They lived in Paris or other places. But when they came out here from their palace to their little chateau, they would bring everything with them. All of their attendants and the nobles who came with them, and then all of the attendants had their own servants, and every noble who came had to bring his own chef, his own tailor, architects, artists, musicians, writers, philosophers, painters, and they would basically bring a whole town with them. Some of these people, when they'd move out to their chateau, would bring thousands of people to come live with them in the chateau.
Janet.
This is the moat that we're crossing.
Collins, the other one. Okay, this is the Tower of Chenonceau. This was originally built by the Mark family as a mill, and when they went bankrupt, someone else bought it and tore down all of it except for this remaining tower. It's the oldest part of the castle. Off to the left is the main part of the Chateau de Chenonceau. It was completed by Henry the something, was it Henry the Second, and given to his mistress, Diane de Poitiers, who did most of the planning and the completion of the building. When Henry II died, his wife Catherine de Medici took it over, and she lived here for a while.
This castle was originally a granary, and that's why it was surrounded by the water. They used the power. The river goes right around it, as you can see.
John, you can't film.
These pictures are taken from on top of the castle. I'm not allowed to take pictures inside, except for the couple that I'm about to sneak. This is the original floor.
No, John.
I would have gotten more of that floor, but a guard asked me to leave as I was taking it. You could see the original flooring and then the part that's been worn out by wear and tear of people coming in and observing. This place is absolutely beautiful inside. Considering that it was built at the time of the Renaissance in the 1400s, in the 14th century. The workmanship is unbelievable. The Castle of Chenonceau, just outstanding. It's hard to believe that you're actually at a place that existed at the time of the Renaissance and remains intact. It has been reconditioned to a certain extent, but a lot of originality is still here. It just shakes you to know that you were in a place of such history, of such historic value. We have a new driver by the name of Professor McFetchit. I hope we make it to our next destination.
Danielle.
She seems to be doing quite well.
Je ne vais pas changer.
Non, non. Elle se fait, non.
How do you do this?
After viewing the castle at Chenonceau, I wish I had paid more attention to my world history lessons from Mr. Moore in 50 what? 53 and 54. I would have enjoyed it even that much more. We're on our way. We're leaving Chenonceau, and we will be visiting another castle this afternoon. We're entering Amboise, where there is another chateau. We'll be catching that shortly.
On appelle les maisons à colombage. Le clos lycée, ici à Amboise. Il y a le clos lycée, ce castle.
There's the castle of Amboise. If I can get it.
Huh? Built by Francois I, primarily for fox hunts and to impress King Henry VIII of England. Rarely used to live in. So at Chambord in the Loire Valley. Chaux is surrounded by a 20-mile wall, contains 400 rooms and 365 chimneys.
This place is so massive, it's no wonder they only used it for 40 days. They wouldn't know how to find each other.
Oh. Have you had any of this ice cream over there?
Oh, I got that on close-up for your students, Gloria.
Bottles to sell, ranging from 21 up.
I just got to drive over a curve like trees. No, I saw that tree. I like that. I got to too. We're going in over there.
This is wine country, and we're about to tour one of the wineries in the Loire Valley.
Et 2 millions de bouteilles en stock. Alors la température de la cave, 11 degrés. 11 degrés de température. Alors il y avait le commencement du travail de la méthode champenoise. Alors il a déjà fait une première fermentation naturelle dans les tonneaux ou les cuves. Et là, pour le transformer en méthode champenoise, on lui fait faire une deuxième fermentation, mais dans la bouteille. Alors pour ça, on a ajouté de la liqueur. La liqueur, c'est du sucre, ferment et levure de vin. Levure, c'est des ferments. Alors il reste 1 an horizontal, vous voyez, comme ça, là sur les lits, et il a formé son dépôt dans la bouteille. Vous voyez le dépôt, le vin il est trouble. Alors après 1 an de gazification, on les passe sur les pupitres là, ça s'appelle le pupitre, et alors tous les jours, la bouteille elle est tournée 1/8 ou 1/4 de tour pendant 25 jours. Mais vous avez 2 rotations, vous avez le tournage comme ça, et vous avez inclinaison, c'est-à-dire que ceci, c'est terminé. Vous voyez. Alors tout le dépôt, il vient se coller à la capsule ici, là, vous voyez. Le vin, il est clair, le dépôt, littéralement à la capsule, là. Alors pour extraire les dépôts, vous mettez votre bouteille dans un bain de congélation, c'est-à-dire que vous gelez le goulot de la bouteille, la capsule avec le dépôt. Et après, vous décapsulez la bouteille et par la pression, éjection du dépôt. Et là, vous obtenez le vin brut. Brut, ça veut dire très très sec, very dry. Alors, si vous voulez faire un demi-sec ou un moelleux, addition de liqueur. Vous remettez la deuxième liqueur pour adoucir le vin. Et après, vous mettez le bouchon définitif, le bouchon de liège, le gros, et le muselet, mais faut 2 années de travail. C'est-à-dire on les laisse pendant 1 an d'assemblage sur les cuves, 1 an immobile capsulé, et 25 jours sur les pupitres. Alors ça, c'est la méthode champenoise. Et après, on a le deuxième vin, c'est le vin tranquille. Alors le vin tranquille, c'est lui, il n'est pas gazifié. C'est-à-dire qu'il est mis directement à la vendange, quand il est écrasé, directement dans les tonneaux. Alors il est clarifié dans les tonneaux. Vous savez ce que ça veut dire, la clarification du vin? Non. Là, que le vin, il est clair et limpide. Mais alors, quand on l'obtient, il faut le travailler. Vous voyez, ça, c'est des vaches semi-automatiques.
disco. Tomorrow morning, same plan as today, breakfast by 8:30, bags in the lobby, out of your room by 8:30, magic bus leaves for Paris, 9 o'clock.
You perhaps just heard our tour guide make the announcements for tomorrow. We are now arriving back in Tours after a busy day visiting 2 chateaux, seeing several others, and touring a winery. Tomorrow we leave for Paris. En route to Paris, we will stop at Chartres and...
Those times once again, 6:30 we leave for dinner, 10 o'clock we go to the disco, 9 o'clock to Paris, 9 tomorrow morning.
This view of Tours, this is the balcony of some of our boys' rooms. That's our tour bus.
What do you think so far, Mr. Zurlo?
I think we're having a fantastic time.
Really?
Don't you?
Yep.
What do you think of today?
Oh,
Enjoy
today
the
was
castle?
great. Castles were fabulous, fantastic.
What about the winery?
I like the winery. I bought a few bottles myself. Very cheap, and
Did you buy the wine for it?
my parents, definitely. I don't drink. I'm not a wine drinker.
What more? The cigarette trick was performed by our bus driver. We're now heading for our dinner. There's a pharmacy, and you notice the blinking green sign. That also means that the pharmacies in France are also first aid stations. And we finally arrived at our destination.
This is walking through the old village of Tours. It's like being in the old part of Quebec or the old part of any city. The old part of
We have to go rather quickly because These people don't really care to have their pictures on film, themselves on film. This is the old part of tour. We're now on our way to Versailles and Paris. Today is Friday, April 22nd, 1988.
The official court out to Versailles, and there's one of the world's greatest palaces there. Louis XIV began a building process that took 30 to 40 years to build one of the greatest palaces ever built. The palace by which all others are measured. There are 1,400 fountains there today. The area was, this was a kind of a difficult feat at the time. The area was a lot of marshland and what built anyway. Required a lot of draining and a lot of engineering feats that weren't really well known at the time. He also wanted fountains there and a river. Unfortunately, there wasn't a river around there. There was the Bièvre, and he decided, well, why don't we just move the river? He was finally talked out of that by some of the environmentalists at the time, including Leonardo da Vinci. And what he did do was just take a canal off the river and have that go to Versailles. And that's the fountains. There are 1,400 of them, and they're still operating today. They were so well built, still with the original masonry and pipes that were used to feed them then. None of that has been replaced. There are fantastic gardens outside that were designed by Le Notre, who's also the one who designed the Jardin des Tuileries and a lot of the other famous landscape projects in Paris for the royal family. Louis XIV, Versailles had its heyday, and had you'll see the extravagance that he had there, and that, of course, is what led up to the Revolution. Louis XIV imposed very heavy taxes on the country to basically spend the money on himself at Versailles, and he also taxed the nobles pretty heavily to keep them under control. That was another one of the strategic importances of Versailles, was that the Paris has never been a real hospitable place for royalty or government in general. While Louis XIV was building the Hall of Mirrors and all the fountains and gardens at Versailles, people were starving in Paris, and they thought they were better off outside of Paris anyway. After Louis XIV died, the court returned back to Paris, to the Louvre. The Louvre was the castle then. Under Louis XVI, it was Marie Antoinette that wanted to go back to Versailles. There were too many common people in Paris, and she didn't really have any desire to be around them. So they went back out to Versailles then. During the Revolution, of course, she was taken away, and they were captured from Versailles. They were brought to Paris, and eventually guillotined in the Place de la Concorde. And we'll see where that is when we go into Paris. But at that time, a lot of Versailles was destroyed. The building is still the same, but most of the furniture was taken out and auctioned. A lot of the artwork was destroyed then. There are chandeliers throughout the castle they're pretty impressive. They're all copies, though, except one of them. They were all destroyed, except for one. Since the Revolution, it has not been it's not been occupied by royalty at all. There was the treaty in 1819 was signed there, the Hall of Mirrors. Basically, it's been a museum since then. You get kind of a view of the whole castle straight ahead.
I figured that much better when you get to the front, then when you get to the inside. Wow. Then all the guys sitting out there. There, you're taking the road. Oh, God. Walking the gate. Yeah, I know. Much better.
We'll drive through on the way to the airport, John. You catch it.
You see all these people.
Okay, we're going to have about 3 hours. I don't know how many hundreds of rooms. You're not going to see, you're only going to, you only see maybe 20 or 30, walking through the part that has been restored. And that'll take you, at least an hour to get through there. And the grounds are beautiful and go on forever. You can walk around, see the fountains. You're on your own for lunch. There are, near where we're going to park, there are a lot of little cafes and places to get lunch. And then meet back at the bus at 3 o'clock.
There's a guy painting and selling at the same time over there.
Sorry,
Don't step outside Versailles. I got it so quick.
Palace of Versailles.
at the Palace of Versailles bill, primarily out of money that he got from taxes.
Madame Crochet. Yeah.
Inside, we're going to find the Hall of Mirrors, where the Treaty of Versailles at the end of World War I was signed.
This is the chapel as you enter the palace. This is the ceiling of the chapel. State apartment.
Suite of rooms contain the king's apartments, plus a guard room.
The Venus room dedicated to Diana. This is a Diana room, which was used as a billiard room.
This was originally used as the billiards room.
The Mars room, which was a ballroom and a gallery for musicians.
We will continue and conclude the trip to the Palace of Versailles and Paris, France, next Sunday. We appreciate Mr. John Zurlo for making this tape available to us. We have about an hour and a half left to show you, not enough room on today's tape, so we'll continue this tour